Alright, so guess what I did today, y'all? I did everything I was supposed to do, but I didn't go see that damn movie. Didn't go see it. I caught myself. I got up, it was feeling good. Weather was nice, early in the morning. So I said, let's go see this film right quick, you know. So, you know, before I made my final decision, you know, I just I got on the web and I started watching it. I was like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm not going to see it. No, I'm not. Like in my last video, I said a props to Demetrius shit. Acting debut. I still can't believe, you know, I really don't know if he fathoms that, that role. Oh, let me get into the video. Alright. So, like I said, I didn't go see the video. Not the video, fuck. The movie. I didn't go see the movie. I heard somebody who convinced me that it was like, okay, me and him are on the same page. So, I'm not going to see this movie. And I stood on my square. I was like, fuck that. I'm not going to see it. And it was very interesting what he was saying. So, I think his name is Apples and Oranges. See, I listen to him. I check out Apples and Oranges and see what he got going over there. See what he got going on. So, this is the reason I didn't go see it, okay? Now, why people love Tupac, I don't know. Whatever is their personal, the personal feelings about Tupac or whatever. But I can sit here and say, you know, the girls like him because his eyebrows, his eyelashes, his lips, his shape of his eyes, his skin tone, him being ripped, him being short, him being skinny, him being bald headed. You know, the shit that usually girls, when they like somebody, or you know, that's like they're a fan of that person. When it's males, usually that's what they go for. Now guys, on the other hand, you know, they may love Pac because he spoke to them. You know, he spoke to the inner cities and the dudes that was locked up. Dudes like him because, you know, that's real music right there to some guys. You know, or you know, somebody in their family think they look like Tupac, so that's why they bump it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, there go Tupac. Hey, what up, Uncle Ronnie, aka Tupac? Ha 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 ha. You know, it could be a lot of reasons why dudes rock with Pac or whatever. But me, my connection is different. So that's why you see, like, on my videos, like most of them are on Tupac because I know my shit. And the biggest, well, the biggest gross in views I had was about Tupac and Battle for Compton. I'm like, damn. But I can't keep talking about Tupac. You know, eventually it's gonna die down until something else happens. Then I'll start it back up. But it's dying down. Only thing that gave me this boost was this movie. Otherwise, I'll be talking about something else or whatever. So it's like my connection with Pac is a little bit deeper than why or how most people look at Pac, or they're a fan of his. See, me and him have similarities when it comes to our upbringing. That's why I always tell people, like, especially when you go in a relationship, you gotta actually wait for the time to find out what type of person this was when they were little, what they were going through, so you'll know how their mind is shaped in some form or fashion or whatever. But our upbringings was kind of the same. We moved around a lot. I moved around a lot. I started out in Orange County, Garden Grove. I lived there till I was about well, first of all, we moved from Illinois to California in 1991, right when the Rodney King shit was just about to pop off or whatever. Somewhere around that time, I can't remember. We moved from there. We went to Paramount. Paramount is like next to Long Beach. That's next to Compton. That's next to Downey or shit. I don't remember. Then we moved to, I think we stayed in Long Beach for a while. It was a short while. I was young. I don't remember. We stayed there. Then we moved to Orange County. I stayed there till I was about 14 years old. Then we moved back to Long Beach. I stayed in Long Beach until I was about 21. So from 14 to 21. So that's 7 years right there. And I mean, it could sound like a coincidence to some people, but it's like the sevens and everything like that. The sevens. I'm not finna go into that shit either. I'm just telling you, like, 7. You know, so after I went to Long Beach, after I moved from Long Beach, I bounced around to Palm Desert. I went back and forth from Palm Desert to Long Beach, Palm Desert to LA, and until I moved. Y'all get the point anyway. So we bounced around. That's one thing I can say that, you know, we had in common. We were poor. I mean, we probably wasn't as poor as he was at his time or whatever, but I didn't have that many clothes. I had hand-me-downs, which a lot of people did or whatever, you know. So Jada said that he wore one pair of pants, and that's all he could find or whatever. But I used to take my mom's boyfriend's clothes. I used to wear them to school when he go to work. I used to take my cousin's shoes and wear them around and everything, like I had new shit on. You know, little shit like that or whatever. And then there's other things, you know, in his life that, like, that was a part of my life too, as a certain element. It's like shit that I had to go through, you know, just like him. So it's like the similarities. Especially my favorite one is the one where him and Gaddafi, I think are stepbrothers. I think, if I'm not mistaken. But me and my cousin, I have a cousin who looks just like Gaddafi, especially when he was young. And then me and my cousin were together all of the time. So when you look at Pac, it was like looking at me, and you look at Gaddafi, it was like looking at my cousin. My cousin's taller than me, just like Gaddafi is taller than Tupac. So I mean, I can go on and everything, but I want to go into the reason why I didn't go see this shit. That's what y'all want to hear. Why I didn't go see this motherfucker. It's just, I mean, first of all, it's only 2.5 hours. I mean, I've been in, it was times in my life where that's all I listened to. Me Against the World, like 16 and 17, like, you know, those dark ages of your teenage years, if you ever had them. I had some pretty, you know, dark times in my teenage years. You know, nothing too bad. It was just that, like, you know, the real world was calling me, you know, and that's where I was going to end up. Not at home with mama. Understand? So back to what I was saying about, you know, the length, like a 2 hour long movie, fuck that. So that would have been the first thing that would have caught me any goddamn way for me not going to see it, because that would have been the main reason, is that it was only 2.5 hours long. Fuck that. So like I always forget to shout out Tanique Reviews or whatever, that, you know, I like listening to him or whatever, you know. Anytime you make a video, I try to listen to it, especially if it's about Pac or whatever, because he knows his shit. But I mean, he said from the jump, he said, fuck that goddamn movie, I ain't gonna see that bullshit. And I agree with him, and I understand why. And we might have differences in why we don't want to go see it, or we might have the same thing. But this is why I didn't go see the shit. You know, and it's because, you know, people they don't like to sit down for that long. I mean, it's true. I mean, I can't sit down for 4 hours straight and watch a movie. I need to get up and stretch or whatever. But I mean, they could have did some new shit. They could have released part 1, and then you had to come back and see part 2 or part 3 or whatever. They could have did it just like that. I mean, they used to do that shit back in the day, didn't they? You watch a part, like it was like in the old days or something like that. Like you'll watch a little bit of something, then you'll come back. It's like a fucking television show. Tune in next week. To be continued. They could have been the first motherfuckers in history to pull that shit off. But they didn't do it. The movie was going to have to be longer than 2.5 hours for me to really be interested in it. Hands down, bar none. Because like I said, I didn't want to be pissed off when I seen it. It's like, oh, it's just a movie. To y'all, it's just a movie. Like I said, everybody has their personal reasons of why they like Tupac, or how he influenced, or whatever he has done to you in your life while he was alive and after he's gone, and what it does to you. That's your personal shit. But me, it's like they called it All Eyez On Me. So All Eyez On Me was a double disc. It wasn't no single album, it was a double disc. So to title the movie All Eyez On Me, I mean, what the fuck? You would have 2 parts, or you would have to have 2 parts, or you would make people think that this is the first one, and then as soon as the movie ends and they was like, oh, this is blah blah blah, this was garbage or whatever, it was like it just stopped like in the middle of the movie, and then the director and the filmmaker said, but part 2 is coming too. Part 2 is coming. So y'all get and go ahead and get to part 2, and we might drop. I mean, y'all go ahead and watch part 1, but we surprised y'all. There's a part 2 coming. About 6 months. Or a year. Or however they want to do it. Every fucking year on his birthday, they drop parts. That'd have been nice. That's what I would have did. That's what I would have did. I would have did that straight up. Because like I said, I was going to watch it from a director's, producers, and all that shit that I said in my last video. That's what I was going to do. I was going to look at it, in that account and looking from that lens. But it's like, from what people are saying, the shit is horrible. And it's like embarrassing. It's like, whoa. Nah, I can't sit through. What the fuck is this? And I heard motherfuckers was walking out and shit. It's that fucking serious. I don't think people sit back and realize that shit is serious. Like, out of all the make-believe fantasy movies and stuff like that, things that ain't based on a true story, the things that keep us entertained and everything, that was based on a true story. This Tupac movie was based on a true story. So that makes it even more real. Especially for the people who actually, like that type of shit. Documentaries about biopics and, people in their lives and their struggles and everything like that. But I can understand some people, their attention span is short. So 2 hours and 30 minutes is all they can do. I understand that because, like I said, I can't sit down for that long. So, but, more than less, you should try to train your attention span so you'll be able to look at shit for a long period of time and be able to process everything. And then like another connection I had to him was like, when I was a kid, and I don't know if anybody else agrees with me, but like, it happened to me, and I'm pretty sure it happened to other people. But when I was a kid and I watched a movie and somebody died, I thought they really died in real life. So what I mean by that is, like, Tupac, he died in Juice. So I was like, oh shit, he's dead. I remember watching Juice, like, it probably came out on video, somebody probably bootlegged it, I don't know, but I remember seeing Juice at a young age, probably a little bit after it came out, or maybe a year. I think it was about a year after it came out. I don't know. Anyway, I saw it, but I thought he was dead in real life. Everybody that died in the movie, I said, that person's dead. So then when he resurfaced, and I was like, what? Wait a minute. He looked like somebody. And I thought Tupac had an older brother, because I was like, the other Tupac with the hair, he's dead. He died in the movie. He fell off the roof. He's dead. You know, you get older and you be like, oh, they was just acting. Because I'm thinking, like, if I saw the movie, it'd be just like the Super Bowl. Let that sink in for a second. For the people who be like, the shit is fixed and shit like that, me watching the movie would be just like watching the fucking Super Bowl. Your team is up, or whoever you going for, they up or they down. And let's say like the Falcons, you're up all these points, and then it's like, what the fuck is going on? The Patriots start coming back. You pissed off. If you were an Atlanta fan, what the fuck? This is some bullshit. That's the way I feel that I'm going to be watching this film. Like, oh hell no. Ain't nobody seeing this shit. Ain't nobody saying nothing. God damn. This is some bullshit. This is some straight up bullshit. And that's the way I would feel. I mean, I'd probably be laughing at it the whole time. Not to take away nothing from nobody. I ain't taking nothing away, because, I mean, I ain't giving them shit, so I can't take nothing away from them. But I probably been laughing at it the whole fucking time. Like, are y'all serious? This is what y'all came with? And I don't remember I don't remember if he said like the budget. I remember him saying the budget. I think it was like around like $4 million. Don't quote me on that. I think it's about like $4 million. For the goddamn budget. Get the fuck out of here. It'd have been like watching the Super Bowl. So, I mean, other than that, what I'm hearing about this film is the timing and the timeline. Some people say he was performing Hail Mary, and I said, what? So, like I said, I got up this morning and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go see it. Because yesterday I had made the video or whatever, and I was just like, someone was telling me, just go see it. Just, like I said, certain people would be like, well, you can't be listening to everybody else. You gotta go see it for yourself to make your own review, make your own determinations. Fuck that. No, I don't. Because before, no, I ain't gonna say that. I just already figured that based off what people were saying when they saw it, it was just like Tupac Resurrection, except it had actors. I mean, I don't know, like, you know, they lacked a lot of shit. He performing Hail Mary? What the fuck? I'd have been sitting in the theater like, what? Y'all just bobbing y'all head and shit like this. What the fuck is this on the screen? My ass would have got thrown out. Somebody would have came and got me. They'd be like, sir, you're disturbing the peace. I'd be like, check this out. I know you're trying to do your job, but this is some bullshit. Do you see what I'm seeing? Yes, sir. I see what you're seeing, but I still have a job to do. Bless you and your job, because this is some bullshit. I'm not just leave on my own. Whoever's with me, I'll be like, I'll meet y'all back. Just walk out on a motherfucker. You know, and like I said, you know, the All Eyez On Me, they're saying that they didn't give, you know, any particular focus on that album since it was named that album. Then again, lacking details. That's what's gonna piss me off. They jump from scene to scene to scene to scene without even giving a build-up or a transition. Like I said, everybody that has been watching this movie and everybody that has given reviews, I'm not saying everybody, but I have not heard anybody mention that they're just going to watch it from a perspective of a director or a producer or a screenplay writer. I never heard any mentions of that. I guess that's what makes me so special. Because it's hard to explain, but then again, it's not. You know, if you don't give details for scenes and then like you have a poor ass transition, that's going to piss a lot of people off, especially if it's a biopic. Now, when Jada says that, you know, he only had one pair of pants, me as a director, I would have put that in the script and I would have built something around it. So people would know, like, damn, this nigga got the same, he got the same fucking pants on. People will probably say it, or who knows, maybe they made fun of him, or maybe they just noticed, like, dude, you got the same pants on. There was also word that, you know, he used to work at a pizza shop. I mean, you can exaggerate that type of shit because it shows what the person was doing in his daily life. It was an important element at one time in his life because he was just a regular pedestrian like everybody else. And it's like I can break down every scene that everybody is saying because, like I said, I mean, the ancestors on my heart. I didn't go see the shit. I swear I didn't go see the shit. And if I see, I'm not going to go pay. I'm gonna see it on bootleg. Fuck it. I see it on bootleg. I'm gonna get me some something to drink. And I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna critique the shit out of it. But I'm not gonna do a review because I'm just pretty much saying the same shit that I'm gonna say any damn way. And the video is probably gonna be longer because I'm gonna be sitting up here trying to tell people, did you see that? Because I'm gonna be picking out every little fucking detail. Somebody even said something about a goddamn iPhone. Somebody said some shit about Faith Evans. Him and Faith Evans taking the picture. Somebody put out a fucking iPhone. Give me a fucking break. Seriously? Now I see why people say, like, you know, these motherfuckers is throwing dirt on his name. A fucking iPhone. I mean, and the sad thing is, and what is very true, some people might not see anything wrong with that. That's when you know motherfuckers is crazy. If people like voucher for them having an iPhone in 1995 or 96 or whatever, if somebody vouchers for that, that's how you know motherfuckers is crazy. I mean, they're saying that there was no rise to fame. There was no struggle. They're saying just it was like, bam, he got the deal. Just out of nowhere. I can't rock with that. I can't. I mean, they're pretty much saying like they didn't even show like how he got into hip hop. Because Jada said that him and well, her and Pac used to listen to rock music, and he even admitted it. Like they said that there was no work ethic that they showed, like the struggle. Everything that a character is supposed to have you're focusing on one person, and everything and all the baggage that came along with where they were going and where they ended up. You're supposed to show that in the movie. I mean, it kind of sounds like a poor ass reboot, i.e. Ghostbusters. It's just no taking away from nobody. Again, I ain't taking away from the actresses. I ain't taking away from Ivan. I ain't taking away from nobody. But like the Ghostbusters, that shit, they should have just like chilled. They should have just put that shit like, you know, as a compilation movie, and it should have never hit theaters. It's just like this. You know, you got to build a relationship with the audience. You know, that relationship between the main character and the audience is what makes them drawn in. It feels like at some point you would think that they are hypnotized. They are hypnotized by this main character to the point where it's like the people in the movie theater want to hear every word. So that means that if your phone going off, somebody about to get fucked up. If that phone go off one more motherfucking time, somebody gonna get their head whooped. Somebody keep talking and talking and talking and talking, and you right next to him, and you shush him, but you really want to say, shut the fuck up, or get up and get out. That's when you know the audience has this relationship with this main character. It don't sound like this movie brought that at all. That's sad. That's fucked up too. I mean, they didn't share what he loved, what he didn't love. I mean, they didn't give you shit, pretty much. And like I said, you know, whatever the budget was, it was like, are you fucking serious? Really? It's like saying, like, hey, TLC was better. The story on TLC, New Edition, that is the shit that could have had a budget of $4 million. Instead of we having to catch every week we having to catch the part 2 and part 3 and part 4. But that's what you do. You use every little bit of that goddamn money you can to make a damn 4-part series. That shit would have been amazing if they would have done that. All Eyes on Me, and they'd be like, All Eyes on Me chapter 2. Like, oh shit, there's another one coming out. Same people, same everything. It's just that the movie was long, that they had to chop that shit up. They had to half-ass the shit to just cram everything into 2.5 hours. Like I said, TLC and New Edition should have been in the fucking theaters. At least with New Edition, you could have brought a date or brought your girl or your wife or whatever, and the friends and everything. Motherfuckers would have came outside, fucking tipsy as hell and shit, you know, singing all the goddamn New Edition songs. We went home and feeling rejuvenated, refreshed. Now you find yourself buying old New Edition albums because of the movie and shit like that. That didn't happen with this shit. That's what it sounds like. And I'm not even gonna second guess them. I mean, like if I was Demetrius, I'd have been watching hours and hours of footage on Tupac. You couldn't even get a hold of me. Everybody would think I'm dead. I ain't answering my phone. When you knock, I'm not answering the door. Ain't nobody seen me in 6 months. I done grew a beard. I ain't cut my hair. Hell, it probably look like I ain't even showered in a week because I'm studying this motherfucker. Cause like I said, I don't think that he knows how really important it was to do that, because at least you could have pulled it off. Even though like what they did or how they made the movie had nothing to do with you. You just an actor. That ain't got shit to do with you, but I would have blew that fucking part out the goddamn water. Everybody would have been like, even though the movie sucked as far as, you know, the way they crammed everything up, but that boy Demetrius, that motherfucker played Tupac the best he could. Cause like, I'm not saying he didn't watch no footage and everything like that, because in order for him to get the mannerisms and everything and all that good shit, he would have had to watch all that goddamn film. And my whole thing is like, what does this look like to the younger generation? I was 10 years old when all that shit happened to Pac. I was 10. I had just started the 6th grade. I was 10 years old in the 6th grade. I think I was. I was either 10 or 11. Maybe I was 11. I was 11. I had just turned 11. Anyway, so I was around when that shit was going down, and I knew. You want to know why? Because I said this like before my other videos, or some of my other videos. My mother loved bald-headed men. Bald-headed men she liked, and I did not understand why, and it was none of my business, because I don't like anything that has to do with a man anyway. So she just liked bald-headed men. Michael Jordan, Tupac. I think she even liked Montel. I forgot. But Pac was on the news all the goddamn time. He was always on the news. So, but anyway, like, you know, the generation, you know, they think they know everything any damn way, you know, this younger generation. So they'll probably take the movie as is, and they'll be trying to argue with you about the movie. You'll be telling them like, hey, that's not even all the story. Who gives a shit? That's what they said in the movie. I saw the movie, so fuck what you talking about and all the goddamn details you saying they left out. Not saying it's gonna happen, but it could happen. I mean, you gotta tell the entire story for these little kids to understand, and for them to guess or try to comprehend why people love Tupac the way they do. The whole story needed to be told, because like I said, like, you know, the younger generation, their attention span is just short. It's the length of a facial hair to a man with a beard. Just one single facial hair. Their attention span is that short. You have to tell the entire story. I mean, if they make another one, I'm pretty sure they are, but I hope this motherfucker is detailed. I mean, he showed the Shock G and Tupac relationship. That could have been about a good 30 minutes right there. I mean, Shock even said that, I mean, he fired Tupac plenty of times. We could have saw that in the movie. Go look it up. Shock G said, yeah, I done fired his ass plenty of times. He'll fuck some shit up, like I think he will go on stage and he'll say somebody else's part or some shit like that. I think that's what it was. But then he'll kick his ass off tour. And then they'll make up. I mean, they could have showed like the backdrop behind C. Dolores Tucker and how that affected Tupac. That could have been another 30 minutes. Then all this is coming to say like, this is why he wrote the song. I wonder why they call you bitch. Even the phone call between him and Monster Cody, that's on the internet. They could have put that in the movie, and it could have been the same length as the actual recording. They didn't show the Thanksgiving football game when he was out in the streets and stuff playing football with his family in 1994. I don't know where they were. Maybe they were in Georgia. I don't know. They could have showed Thug Immortal. Like, remember, if anybody seen Thug Immortal, he was walking through the streets of New York, and you know, he was on, at the time he was working on Juice and everything like that, so he went around filming himself and everything. They could have put that in the movie as well. Anything so that the audience felt a connection with the main character besides the fact that he's Tupac. So many times in so many ways you can explain it, it just means much more to some people. Like, yeah, we know that's Tupac, but what did he do to get here? That's what I want to know. I want to see somebody act that out, because we weren't there and we couldn't see it while he was growing up, but we would like somebody to act it out. And once they act it out, then we'll build that relationship. I mean, it probably brings people even closer, even the die-hard fans of Tupac. It'll probably bring them closer to know that somebody is up on the big screen portraying him, I mean, in the realest way that they could. I mean, maybe that's all Demetrius had. I mean, he did say that was his debut. From which I find a lot of shit fucked up about that. I was just thinking about it. I mean, it just came across my mind like all day, like at some points of the day. I'm like, this was his first movie, and he got to play Tupac. And I'm thinking to myself, why is so many things wrong with that? And like I said again, not taking nothing from him, but it was just like that role, you know. And then, you know, people talk shit about LT Hut, this shit, talking about he only did a couple videos or something like that, and all of a sudden, I don't know, like, you know, it's politics everywhere. It's something. It's politics everywhere in something. And maybe the people said, well, you're gonna do this film, but we ain't finna have no uproar and some Black Panther shit and people get all excited and everything like that, thinking that they can start a revolution. So you cut that shit down to 2.5 hours and you just focus on all of his success. Don't worry about his downfalls, just worry about his success. And maybe LT Hutton was like, damn, well, that's what they said. I mean, I can't tell the people that's what they said, but they said this is the only thing we can work with. Especially whoever was going to back it, which is what I've heard is Morgan Creek, E1 and all that other shit. If they're going to back it, they're going to say, this is how we want you to do the movie. And it sounds understandable. I mean, it sounds like business. This is business. We don't give a fuck about what he was talking about and what he did and how he overcame this. No, fuck that. Just make the movie. Now the next one is probably got to be some real independent shit, backed by a no name. Nobody's ever heard of him before, but they're backed by it, and they can do anything they want with the movie. But like I said, focusing on the ups and downs and everything like that. I mean, I keep hearing about the rape scene. I don't know if that shit is in this movie, or people were talking about somebody else wanted to make a movie and have that in there. I mean, me personally, I don't know what happened, but I'm not gonna say like, oh, so you're saying he got raped in jail. I'm not saying shit. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened, but I would say that if this motherfucker just got shot 5 times, there ain't no way that he's gonna bend over or let some other man or other men manhandle him to the point where he's being raped. I just don't see it happening, because a motherfucker would have to kill me and use my lifeless body as his teddy bear or whatever he gonna do. But I'm gone. I'm no longer living. You were not about to take anything, and I was not about to be conscious while you did it, because somebody's gonna die, either me or you. So anyway, like, they wanted to put that shit in there. I don't know if it's true or not, but and then back to the family. It's like the family got nothing. They got nothing out of it. It's just like thinking back to when I was saying in the beginning of the video, like, I didn't mention this, but like he was the only son out of his mother. So that's the same thing with me and him. This is what made the connection between me and Pac. I'm my mother's only son. I'm our only son. He had his sister. I had 2 sisters. I am the oldest on both sides of the family, my mother's side and my daddy's side. I didn't have any big brothers by blood. I didn't have any big brothers. Neither probably did Tupac by blood, or at least they came from his mother. So that's another reason why I'm so connected and I can feel him or whatever. But like I said, the family didn't get shit. They had no say so. Just fucked up. It's just fucked up all the way around. And like I said, to end this, I didn't want to watch it and get pissed off. It would have pissed me off. It probably would have pissed me off. Like I said, like, I mean, bootleg, here I come. Bootleg, here I come. And like I said, I'm going to have me a drink, and I'm going to sit here and chastise and critique the hell out this goddamn movie. Me going to see it in person? Nope, not going to happen. Never going to happen. So I hope y'all like what I was talking about. I hope that makes sense. I hope that, some of y'all felt the same way, if you saw it or you didn't. If you're not going to go see it, or if you already saw it, you can tell me to spare my eyes. But let me know what y'all think. Y'all can get below there. Put your comments down or whatever. Let's talk about it. I'm out.